Electricity is in the air. Two TBL rivals go at it. The Phoenix Fury against the host LA Elite. A couple teams trying to take care of business in the sold-out Thunder Studios. One of the best home field advantages in the league. Home crowds that belongs to LA. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Bontempo with my longtime pal Al Bernstein as we take you through this great matchup tonight, Al. Not only the rivalries with these two teams and the fact that they're both on the playoff bubble, but we also have for them an excellent matchup at 126-pound with the women.
Yeah, this matchup could be very pivotal in terms of which team comes out victorious tonight. And it's taking place in a division that is loaded with talent in the team boxing league. And tonight we're going to see two of the very best. Erica Sanchez moved down in weight to 126 for the TBL Season 4, and it has really helped her. She's 6-0, highlighted by this dismantling of Claudio Clausius. This gave her team 4 points and helped the Elite get their one win of the season. And it's remarkable. She has won twice in every single LA match. And tonight, she will battle Season 3 star Tierra Brandt, who had a 7-fight win streak, including this dominant win over Brooke Evans. That was just before she lost 2 close ones to Florencia Britos. Now, she wants to start a new winning streak at the expense of Sanchez. And we will see two of the very best in this division. It's a really good stylistic matchup, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, so that will take place at 126 pounds. Let's stay with that theme right now, bringing the third member of our broadcast team, Amelia Moore. We saw a couple of fighters there, Amelia. How do you assess at large this division?
I mean, the female featherweight division last year was solid, but this year is one of the deepest divisions in Team Boxing League, and we're fielding athletes like Shaquilla Ellis, who's a world champion amateur and Olympian, 9-0 this season. Azaria Cottrell of the San Antonio Snipers, 9-1, and of course, Erica Sanchez, who's right now is undefeated, like you mentioned, and coming off of 2 incredible standout performances. And again, she faces Tierra Brandt, another amazing talent who's a 7-time world champion kickboxer. And along that vein, I had the chance to be able to sit down and talk with Ahavat Gordon, the Golden Boy, earlier today. And I believe he's one of the rounds that you have to watch tonight.
You are exactly right. That will be round number 5, Ahavat Gordon. And tell us, Al, a little bit about what this boxer brings to the table here and his big background here.
Yeah, this is going to be a welterweight encounter, and he is a mixed martial arts star from Israel who has been in the ONE championships, where obviously he's had to use his striking, and now he's making his pro boxing debut tonight, and he'll do it against Judy Israel, a really good fighter, but he's had a little tough luck this season. He's looking for his first win of the season.
Okay, so we've got some subplots coming for you. We've got the women's fight. We've got the big debut of an international star. We've got the rivalry. We've got LA. We've got Phoenix. We've got Team Boxing League, and we've got it all coming to you next. Stay with us. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Well, the excitement is building inside Thunder Studios. There are the TBL Bellas, the popular addition to the league this year. I wonder who they like in this contest tonight. We'll find out more about this contest. Take it inside. Here is Ray Flores.
Welcome to the next chapter of non-stop high-impact action. This is Team Boxing League, where every fighter leaves it all in the ring and every round matters. You can check out every moment of Team Boxing League airing live on MSG Networks along with Envoy TV, Spanish language coverage on Estrella TV. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live at a sold-out Thunder Studios here in Los Angeles, California, for tonight's Week 9 matchup between the visiting Phoenix Fury and your hometown LA Elite. We would like to thank the California State Athletic Commission, Executive Director Andy Foster, for hosting tonight's event. And also a big thank you to our sponsors, Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, Serenity Springs Recovery Center, HotelPlanner.com. Your referees judging inside the ring throughout the entirety of the matchup. Referees Chris Lieben, Jonathan Romero, and Thomas Taylor. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the visiting Phoenix Fury.
Hope you ready, 'cause we coming, yeah, we coming.
Here come the Fury. They beat Boston in Week 1, 15-13, and have been beaten 18-9 twice since. Take a look at some of the fighters that you think that will make a difference for them.
And if you know, then you know. We ain't standing down. We jabbing, we hooking, we go.
Playoff team last year in their first season, so made a lot of positive waves in TBL last year. Like a lot of teams in the circuit, just one win away from getting their bearings. Be right back in the thick of it, so this one is big tonight.
The coaches for the Phoenix Fury are Sonny Gutierrez and Joe Guzman. Here is the starting lineup for Phoenix. Bantamweight Aniela Lopez. Featherweight Alejandro Maniano. Featherweight Brenda Hernandez Cardenas. Lightweight James Pierce. Welterweight Judah Yisrael. Middleweight Jordana Barrera. Super middleweight Sebastiana Duran. Heavyweight Dante Stone. Featherweight Tierra Brent. Lightweight Kevin Quintero. Welterweight Demarius Watson. 2025 TBL Most Valuable Fighter. Light heavyweight Raiko El Corojo Santana. And heavyweight Manuela Villalobos. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Phoenix Fury. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here at a sold-out Thunder Studios in Los Angeles, here is your hometown LA Elite.
As they make their way in, they won their last matchup against Nashville 16-11. A critical victory for them. Erica Sanchez, one of their key fighters. We've already talked about her and will throughout the course of the contest. And arguably the best home crowd advantage in the league. San Antonio also has a very good one, but 1,200 people here. That is a massive amount of support.
And this team's only 5 points away from being undefeated, when you think about it.
Yes, how close they have been in these other ones.
The head coach of the LA Elite, world-renowned trainer, Manny Robles. Here is the starting lineup for the LA Elite. Bantamweight, Elena Manduano. Texas Golden Gloves champion, featherweight, Sean Gusto Brewer. Featherweight, Lacet Lopez. Lightweight, Jose Pablo Rodriguez. Undefeated global combat sports sensation, welterweight, Ahavad Gordon. Middleweight, Martin Saldana. Super middleweight, Samuel Isaac. Heavyweight, Jonathan Rice. Featherweight, Erica Sanchez. Lightweight, Diego the Ghost Dominguez. Welterweight, Osvaldo Lopez. Light heavyweight, Angela Lozano. And heavyweight, Jamal Scott. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all please rise, if you're able to, for the singing of our national anthem, being performed tonight by renowned vocalist Christina Bustos.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Christina Bustos with the singing of our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin the launch rounds between the Phoenix Fury and the LA Elite. Round one begins at 118 pounds. For Phoenix, Angela Lopez. LA, Elena Manduano.
That's a Lopez, 3-0 in TBL, wins over Natalie Gage, Monica Lugo, and Angela Austria. Manduano also has wins over Lugo and Austria, so common opponents there. 34-year-old Lopez, 21-year-old Manduano. A lot of parity in the matchup coming in. We'll see how it plays out.
You know, season 4 is the debut season for Lopez, and she's doing extremely well in it, obviously.
Take a look at the Bantamweight power rankings there. Contreras, Zimpoteca, Vasquez, Lopez. One of the many solid divisions that are here in PBL. All right, so we've got like an interesting cat and mouse game going on here that looks like it's about to pop open at some point.
Yeah, both these women are very similar in style, mirror images. They both like to throw the right hand, and they want to use their jab to set it up. So far in this round, we haven't seen that very much from them.
Yeah, Lopez is trying to do it, but she's a little far out. Needs to be a little closer, and Mandujano has an opportunity to try and counter that and get inside.
You know, Mandujano's 2 losses this season have come to Isabel Vasquez, who's a really top fighter in this weight class. So while she does have those losses, and you mentioned she beat the same opponents as Lopez, there's no shame in the losses to Isabel Vasquez.
No, and you know, one of the leaders in the division here. And you know, the fact that you've got the common opponents, as fighters are warned about headbutting, you come in here feeling pretty even, and now it's the execution.
Lopez has used more of this ring than Mandujano, and yet Mandujano has not been able to cut off the ring, and then here's where we get a good exchange between these two.
And the fight breaks out here with 45 seconds to go. I think it will be interesting for the judges to have to discern whether Lopez is effective with her movement or whether Mandujano is effective with her stalking. And there hasn't been a whole lot of offense for them to choose between.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Lopez, when she's chosen to come forward, has landed some decent punches. She has, it looks like a slight height and reach advantage on Mandujano. Big hook.
Well, that's the way to get some emphasis just before the clock runs out. That takes some of the pressure off the judges, too.
That's for sure. Lopez striking at a propitious moment for her with no moments to spare. Yeah, disappointment. Mandujano wasn't really hurt by that, but she was knocked down by the punch, so it's going to give this woman an extra point. And the Phoenix Fury, beautiful left hook. Man, she just cranked that up from outside and over a kind of yeah, Mandujano was getting ready to throw her own hook, and then Lopez got to her first.
Let's see, she got hers in the air, and then the opening occurred as it was in the air.
Yeah, that was a great moment for Lopez.
TBL fans, the winner. TBL fans, the winner of round 1 by unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Phoenix Fury, Aniela Lopez.
All right, so that will be an interesting one to look back on. They will fight again in round 21. They'll have a lot of time to think about what to do next.
Phoenix, Alejandro Mariano, LA Sean Brewer.
All right, so Mariano 7-0, won as a professional outside TBL. 2023 his last fight, but he's in 8-round company. And Brewer 8-10 in TBL, 3-1 this year. Only lost a split with Leandro Johnson.
Yeah, Brewer is very much a boxer puncher. A little slip there. That's the way he likes to operate.
To the buzz over the late knockdown by Phoenix, giving the Fury a 2-0 edge. Southpaw style here for Mariano. Brewer looking to get inside and find something for himself here.
Mariano shows that left hand. It's kind of a looping punch, and Brewer's looking to counter it with his right if he can.
Yeah, step and get some distance.
Yeah, Brewer's originally from Milwaukee. He lives in Las Vegas, but he says, I fight for Milwaukee. He said, that's my hometown, and that's who I'm here representing.
Yeah, both of these guys reside now in the Vegas area, Henderson and Las Vegas. But hey, he's fighting for Milwaukee, trying to get some points.
And for LA, of course.
Yes.
Both of these matches we've seen have been very tactical. There's good body work done on the inside by Maniano.
And as Brewer tries to take that break and work on the uppercut, and he's digging the body here. And they're trying to go to work. They're both using the inside as an office. Maniano missing over the top with his left hand, but Brewer got there first with his hook. And as we saw at the end of round one with Lopez and Mandujano, always a chance for some late fireworks, even when they're being tactical.
The big question, I think, in this round is going to be whether who's done the better job on the inside. That's where most of the action has happened when they've gotten there. Good body work by Maniano, and Brewer with some nice uppercuts.
So they're both top gloves, and each one hoping they did enough.
And speaking of body shots, there's Maniano going downstairs, and there's the uppercut try by Brewer. So it's kind of in microcosm what we saw in this round. Maniano would like to get his second win this season.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 2 by way of unanimous decision from the LA Elite, Sean Brewer.
That's a Brewer cuts that in half.
LA 1. Round 3 at Featherweight, Phoenix, Brenda Cardenas, LA Lizette Lopez.
That's a Brenda Cardenas, 9-6 in TBL, second year. Won her first 5, then lost 3, including 2 to Erica Sanchez. A lot of company there. Won a split against Jordan Edwards in her last.
Yeah, that was a good matchup with Jordan Edwards, and it was a really close battle.
Lopez, 30-16 on that 30-win club. She's an original in the circuit.
Yeah, she has just 3 seasons of action for her. And that's a lot of wins to put on the board.
Yeah, it really is. You figure you get maybe 8 opportunities in the course of 1 year. So you have to be very good to get to the area that she is. Cardenas and Lopez. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein with you, joined by Amelia Moore. Amelia, 50 seconds in, what are you seeing here?
I mean, in the beginning, Lizette Lopez was doing a really fantastic job of using her footwork to maintain distance and really picking off. But because she was landing, Brenda Cardenas seemed to have really just tried to put on the pressure. So we're starting to see the fade of that pressure fury of walking forward by the Phoenix athlete.
All right, good action on the inside by both.
Cardenas got into boxing just as a hobby, but then she went on to have an 11-2 amateur career, and that led her to the pros and also ultimately to Team Boxing League, where she has a 9-6 record overall. So, like Lopez, not as long as Lopez, but she's an integral part of TBL.
And as we mentioned at the top, the women have been such an integral part of the thinking and the strategy of the coaches. And as we've outlined, a couple of excellent divisions featuring the women, especially 140 and 126 pounds.
Cardenas has been coming forward, trying to make the fight, but not really landing effectively. And Lopez, when she's been at range, has been able to land the jab and an occasional straight left hand.
Good right hand by Cardenas. Now Cardenas trying to put some good body work together, trying to get an accent here with 40 seconds to go, and back at her comes Lopez. Been high intensity. Cardenas looking to find an elusive shot here, and does get a good right hand in that instance. So they will battle it down to the wire. Phoenix leading 2-1, trying to pad it. LA trying to knot everything up. Well, Cardenas has been the one coming forward. The question is whether she'll be rewarded for that as being effective.
Yeah, there's a lot of counterpunching from Lizette Lopez, especially in that last minute of the round. And Cardenas, as you said, coming forward, and Lopez there. You see her throwing punches off the ropes. And the straight left hand, there's the one that got in. And the jab and a slight little half hook. And see, those are not monstrous punches by Lopez, but she threw and landed a number of them.
TBL fans, the winner of round 3 by way of unanimous decision from the LA Elite, Lizette Lopez.
All right, so the counter punch gets the nod.
2 apiece between Phoenix and LA.
Replays showing you the contrast.
Round 4 at lightweight, Phoenix, James Pierce. LA, Jose Pablo Rodriguez.
All right, Phoenix 2, LA 2. Phoenix with the first 2 matches. The 2-pointer in the first match, and then LA coming back to win the next 2. James Pierce, 34. Avondale, Arizona, 1-2 in TBL. Does have a win over Hebrew Francois and a loss to Dakota Amy. Rodriguez has had a losing streak of 6 that he's rebounded from. A win over Roger Hilly in recent matchups.
And Pierce, I mean, he fought in the pro ranks outside of TBL on May 2nd, a unanimous decision 4-round loss. So he's been in the ring very recently and now stepping in here to TBL.
Good right hand, a clubbing right hand. Home by Rodriguez. Yeah.
Rodriguez would like to get that right hand in, and he's going to keep winging it as best he can.
And from the other side, here's Pierce firing wide shots, trying to get them there in volume. Good body shot there by Rodriguez.
Both men being really active. Not everything's getting there, but they're both really trying to put some combinations together. And the counter jab from Pierce as he moves, just very effective. Here's Rodriguez again with the right. That'll be the theme as the second half of this fight, this round wears on for Rodriguez to try and get that punch in.
Indeed, good action. Good left hook by Rodriguez. Good pace being pushed by both of these fighters. Oh, good right hand by Rodriguez. He walked into one as well, but here's opportunity staring at him.
He has really found a home for that right hand. I mentioned before that you would expect the last part of this round to be dominated by him with that punch, and that has been the case.
He's also walked into a few crisp jabs here that have gotten to him, and I don't know if he's cut.
Somewhere around the nose. There's another right hand, and you know, it's interesting that while he's taken a few counter punches, that right hand of his has just been a laser beam.
It has been, and they don't award you points for cuts, so fortunately for him, if he wins, it's this good offense and really a good effort from the gut by both of these fighters.
Yeah, Prius has done some really good counter punching as well with his movement, so it's going to be intriguing. The judges have a tough one to figure out. And Pierce is supposed to be back in action against Rodriguez again tonight. I hope that cut doesn't affect that. I think it's just a nosebleed.
Fortunately, not around the eye area, so we would get deduced that for optimism.
TBL fans, the winner of round 4 by way of unanimous decision. From the Phoenix Fury, James Pierce.
Okay, so the counterpuncher rewarded again. Okay, so do we have a new star on the horizon? He's about to fight. Amelia Moore sat down with Avahat Gordon. Let's check it out.
Ahavad, as very young, you and your brothers would have to take a bus for hours from the town you grew up in to the gym where you guys initially started training. Those really early sacrifices, what do you feel it built in you as a fighter today?
So yeah, since day one, the sacrifice been everything in our journey. Nothing was easy, let's say that. So, but it made us who we are today, the fighters we are, and you know, the strongest thing about us is our mentality and our heart. So I think that's what made us, you know, strong and unbeatable.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's what you carry with you. Internationally, I mean, you've represented Israel on the highest levels of international competition in Muay Thai and kickboxing. What made now the right time to move into boxing and step into a format like Team Boxing League?
So yeah, I fought in the best and biggest leagues, won championship, RWS and Muay Thai. You know, 12-0 in Muay Thai. But my biggest goal is to, you know, get to the UFC and be the first champion. So I think this is part of the journey, stepping into another format of our martial arts and show my skills here and get better in boxing. And I'm excited. I think it's just the perfect organization for me to try out my skills and show what I got.
And for you, you've been very vocal about your family being a massive part of your journey, especially losing your father very young. What are you hoping that people are going to see in you beyond just being a fighter tonight?
You know, I'm not just a fighter. Everybody, like, a pretty known name in my country. So because I represent something a lot bigger as a Jew, and happy to be who I am and not scared to show who I am. So I think that's what people really love about me. I'm not scared of nobody except of God. So that's who I am.
To be you and most authentic is a beautiful blessing and a great gift. Well, we're excited so much to see you compete tonight.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Round 5 at welterweight for Phoenix, Judah Yisrael. For LA, Ahavad Gordon.
All right, so here is Gordon's debut. A lot of fans for him in support here. Interesting that he said he's using this as part of the journey. You can say that in this type of a format. In some sports, you say, I'm using this on the way to someplace else. They may say, they may not be too happy. But here he is trying this part of his journey out.
Well, you know, in the One Championships, which is a mixed martial arts competition, he's been a good striker there. And he's got 6 KOs, knockouts. So, you know, it's a part of his game that he has, but again, he just wants to get better. And right now, he's throwing some really nice combinations. And Israel is a very solid fighter, but he just hasn't been able to get a win in this format yet.
And Gordon throws some good combinations right on top of Yisrael. Egged on by this crowd. Eats a jab on the way in. You know, when people have come in from other disciplines, as you see the warning about the potential for headbutts, it's usually right out and go for it a lot.
Yeah.
They come with their gut a lot until they learn all the techniques of this.
Yeah, you could see, though, that Gordon technically is a sound boxer. He landed a real nice right hand there. He is somebody that understands boxing. You can tell that in, a minute and 15 seconds.
I like his weight distribution, his balance.
Yeah, he keeps his head a little too high. That's something they're going to work on. But in general, his technique is not bad.
One thing you always like to see from the fighter coming in first time, the volume of punches.
Yeah.
You're not seeing one. You're usually seeing groups of them.
Israel just landed a real nice right hand. He has a good sneaky right hand, and he's used it in a couple of his fights. His losses have come to Jasir Riley twice and Darian Castro, 3 of the 4 losses. So those are really good boxers in the TBL. So Israel has had some good moments, just hasn't been able to get over the hump and get a win.
The adrenaline here for Gordon. Eats a jab there, and then a good right hand. Well, good sportsmanship.
He's lucky he didn't get nailed with a punch there.
Watch yourself at all times, unless you've agreed that this is going to be a diplomatic mission, too.
Good right hand by Israel, and Gordon is... Israel has found a way now to kind of avoid those right hands of Gordon. He's slipping them better.
Yeah, and, the people who are going to be fighting at Gordon later, they're paying attention to this, and they say, hey, look at this. Look what you can do. Look how you can slip that first set of punches by him, and then if you do, it's a different fight. Well, they're chanting in the crowd for him as he lands a good left hand, and very active round. Entertaining.
Yeah, both men were very active and threw a lot of punches. And the beginning part, of course, Gordon was extraordinarily busy and kept that pace for the most part. And Israel more than picked up his pace. There's the right hand. That was a staple for Gordon during the course of that, and animated in several instances. Israel landing a nice little short chopping right hand, and right at the end of the round. So it was a pretty close round.
Israel found a way to get through.
Winner of round 5 by split decision from the LA Elite, Gordon.
All right, so Gordon brings those fans what they came to see. And we are knotted up at 3.
Round 6 at middleweight. Phoenix Jordan Barrera, LA Martin Saldana.
All right, Barrera and Saldana. Barrera 12-7. But say it ain't so. 2 of his wins came against Rashidi Ellis.
Go figure. Yeah. That's almost a miracle, huh?
That was in 2025 when Ellis was 19-0. You got to look at Barrera, some of his key stats. 2-0 this year. Victory over Joseph Hicks.
Yeah, it's funny. Joseph Hicks example. You talk about people that come into the league. Hicks, a very good amateur and a good pro from Michigan, who came to TBL to try and improve his start because he starts slow, and some of the boxers do that as well to come here. Now here, I'll tell you what, Barrera shows power early.
Another big moment for Phoenix, as well as what was going on in round number 1.
Barrera, the Cuban export, is showing us his power. And, he's got 3 KOs in TBL, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and an opportunity for a big early margin for Phoenix. Can you get those pull-away points early on? Good left hand by Barrera.
Saldano's 19-0 as a pro, and he came in this season, and I think Phoenix thought he was going to be a infusion of energy for them. He's 1-2 this season, but he's struggled a bit and is a little bit in this fight.
Yeah, split with Isaiah Elrod, a loss to Tracy Magruder of San Antonio, and some uphill work to do in this fight. As Barrera trying to get major bonus points for Phoenix, still has a minute to work with.
Yeah, in this league, how many slick but powerful left-handers are there? They're originally from Cuba, a lot of them, and Barrera is among them. And I think he's one of the more powerful in the group, as evidenced by the 3 KOs, and we just saw his power evidence in this round.
Good right hook by Barrera. Good straight left hand. He's in parlay mode right now, trying to turn that knockdown into something additional. Saldana looks like he does have his legs under him with a few seconds to go.
Barrera feels pretty good because he's sitting on a 2-point round.
So in Thunder Studios, the Thunder comes from the visiting team again. How about that for Phoenix? 2 early knockdowns.
This was the power outburst early from Barrera. Left hand that hurts him, and a right hook, and then that left hand again after Saldana was buzzed by the first one. And that will create a 2-point round for the Phoenix Fury.
TBL Ben's the winner of round 6 by unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Phoenix Fury, Yordan Barrera.
So Yordan Barrera
LA 3
gets Phoenix off to the races. The Phoenix Fury coming on the road and getting 2 early knockdowns and the lead against the LA Elite. The popular Gordon winning for LA. Phoenix on top. We'll be right back. We go right back inside. Phoenix on top, 5-3. Great start to this one. Here's Ray Flores.
Round 7 at super middleweight. Phoenix Sebastian Duran, LA Samuel Isaac.
Sebastian Duran, 2-0 as a pro, 0-5 in his first year, but his opponents that he faced had 144 total fights when you add them up. So he fought some real veterans as he's trying to learn his way through.
Yeah, on May 8th, he lost to Diane DePestri, who's experienced, and tonight he's facing a man making his TBL debut.
So Samuel Isaac, 4-0 as a professional outside TBL. So opportunity sitting here for both fighters. I think it's interesting, you know, how you get matched up your first few fights. You might get a lot of 3-0, 2-2 type fighters, but Duran facing guys who had 45 fights. So
that's a struggle.
And yet that will be an accelerated education.
Yep. So good left hook by Duran. And both men really throwing a lot of combinations and trying to make the most of this 3 minutes.
Because the mouthpiece is already out. And they quickly get it back in. Now, this is a pleasing stylistic matchup here with Duran and Isaac, even as Isaac, is now facing a situation where he's a southpaw for a while, and he gets nailed by doing that.
Isaac's last pro fight among his 4-0 was in February. He scored a 4-round win. Obviously, he's undefeated, so he's coming in off that. Duran's showing you that, he's, while the mouthpiece keeps popping. Duran, even though he hasn't been successful, you could see this guy's a very solid fighter and a good combination puncher.
And it's really important as he lands a huge right hand here. The mouthpiece is out, problems, and he's continuing to fight because no signal has been given. Wow, that could have been big opportunity, and he jumps right back on top. So with the mouthpiece coming out, there was opportunity for Duran, taken away, but he is a veteran and trying to size it up and go for bonus points here. The point I was starting to make was, you fought all these experienced fighters. The key is not to fight down to your next level of competition, and he has avoided doing that.
Yeah, 100%. And the combination punching of Duran has just been really, really good. And Isaac trying to fight back and trying to throw his own power shots, but it's been less effective. And he lands a nice jab, Isaac, but they've been few and far between for him.
Well, he started briefly as a right-hander, and then when he moved over here, he's gotten the worst of it.
Yeah, and I think that was probably a mistake because you're more susceptible to the right hand, and that's the punch that, one of the punches Duran was landing effectively.
Good uppercut by Duran.
And that has been a signature punch as well during this round for Duran. Something tells me Sebastian Duran is going to get off the snide here tonight in team boxing.
All right, so there was a moment here where you thought he might get a knockdown, and referee, because of the mouthpiece coming out, changes the dynamic here.
Well, the referee should have stopped the action there. I mean, and he didn't. And Duran got a bunch of free punches in against a fighter without a mouthpiece. So that turned out to be a break for him. Now, that was some of the offensive work that was done by Isaac, but I don't know if he did enough to win this one.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 7 by way of unanimous decision from Phoenix, Sebastian Duran. The score, Phoenix 6, LA 3. Our final launch round will be in the heavyweight division. Phoenix, Dante Stone. LA, Jonathan Rice.
Got some good big bangers here. Dante Stone had a split with Kai Brooks, one of the point leaders in the league, his last time out. And Jonathan Rice has been a great breath of fresh air for this team. Wins over Nagy Aguilera and Stefan Moss twice. So at 39, he has looked like he's been dipped in the fountain of youth for LA.
Yeah, he is 4-0 and really could have had more points. He had Nagy Aguilera in all kinds of trouble and just kind of stepped back. It was an odd moment. But Jonathan Rice, he's a very solid pro. He's got a win over Michael Coffey, who, of course, is known here in TBL.
I think what was good about Jonathan Rice was his resilience after that moment. He came back and won the next fight the same night, and then 2 fights the next time. So that was a building block, and he didn't let it defeat him.
And for Stone, he's in his first TBL season. He's respectable at 3-3, and as you pointed out, he showed well against Kai Brooks, who is a good fighter. And, he had a 20-fight win streak in boxing outside of TBL, so he's got some credentials at age 31.
Will there be some explosions with these heavyweights? Phoenix ahead 6-3. Dave Bantamweight and Al Bernstein with you. End of the launch rounds. I always like to see the heavyweights at the end of either the launch or the middle, because a lot of things can change with one shot.
Yeah, LA would love to see Jonathan Rice do something dramatic here and change the tenor of this evening. Right now, this is up for grabs because neither man has done a lot of great offensive work. And Stone slipping the right hand of Rice pretty effectively during the course of this round.
And you know that the fighters can sense that it's a low-scoring affair. So key thing is, you know, whether it's a high-scoring or low-scoring affair, you're thinking to yourself, if I do a little bit, I can steal this round.
And we just saw Stone land a very nice right hook. And when so few punches are landing, and you know, that makes a difference.
Stone is staying beyond the range of the jab of Jonathan Rice, and then lands a big left hand in there.
The left-handed style has been a bother to Rice in this fight.
He'll suggest it, like we haven't seen the right hand from him, which has been a signature.
Trying to get it in, but Stone has done a pretty good job of slipping it.
He's been staying outside trouble and just far enough away from that one.
That was intended to end this fight, but all it got was a breeze on Dante Stone.
He missed it by that much.
It was just a little outside.
All right. Some intrigue with these two fighters, even though the big bomb didn't drop. Dante Stone thinks he has it. Well, we'll find out if he did.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 8 by way of unanimous decision. From the Phoenix Fury, Dante Stone. At the end of the launch rounds, Phoenix leads LA 7-3.
So Dante Stone builds the lead for Phoenix here in Los Angeles. You want to see all the great action coming up on TBL. Dave Bantamweight talks to you about it.
Thanks, Al. While we're enjoying everything this week, we've got a loaded lineup next week, starting with Las Vegas and Atlanta. The Vegas team has been a consistent, powerful squad as they make a move now in the middle of the season. Philadelphia and Boston, the trash-talking teams on the East, going at it again, and this time Boston has a new powerhouse calling out Stacia Suttles. Nashville and Miami will wrap it up. Stay with us all season long for excitement on Team Boxing League. Well, by day, it's California dreaming at the beach. Nighttime, telling a different story inside Thunder Studios, where the Phoenix Fury on top of the LA Elite 7-3. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein after a very significant launch round set by the Phoenix Fury.
Yeah, the difference, very simple. The Phoenix Fury had a little more power than LA with 2 knockdowns mixed in.
Okay, so the power came right away, right at the end of round 1. Well, you always hope that women always get us off to a fast start, and we certainly saw that with Aniela Lopez.
Big left hook, a sweeping left hook that knocked down Mandujano, and that secured the victory in what was a close round.
Avahat Gordon had a big cheering section. The Israeli sensation, as he's known, coming in there, and he electrified the crowd and also had a tough battle.
Yeah, Judah Israel looking for his first win in TBL. Gave Gordon plenty to think about, and so close it was a split decision. Gordon got the nod.
Well, we talked about Yordan Barrera. He beat Rashidi Ellis, but he's got a lot more in his arsenal than one of the TBL's biggest names.
He sure does. A slick left-hander with plenty of power, and he showed that against Martin Saldana with a big right hook, straight left hand, and he notched an extra point for the Phoenix Fury.
Okay, so there are some big punchers who have already had a lot to say, and you know, a lot on here. Round 9 going to be one of our good fights and a round to watch here.
Yeah, it looks like a really good one. Featherweights colliding. Erica Sanchez and Tiara Brandt. We talked about them at the beginning of the show. It just looks like a great matchup. The first of the 2 that they will have together. Different styles. Should be a good one.
All right, so that's the stylistic plot there. Let's go inside the Ray Flores and get the middle rounds underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, from a sold-out Thunder Studios here in Los Angeles, California, it's time to begin the middle rounds between the Phoenix Fury and LA Elite. Round 9 at featherweight. Phoenix, Tiara Brandt. LA, Erica Sanchez.
Well, Tiara Brandt, Tiara Roller Coaster Brandt, she's had win streaks and losing streaks of 7. So right now 8 and 9, came in last year, did a lot of great work early. And Erica Sanchez has been dynamite, coming down from 140 to 126. She has won, as you mentioned, 6 in a row.
Yeah, that move down and weight for her just suited her better. Now, tonight, she's facing, as she did at 140, she faced a lot of opponents taller than her with reach advantage as well. Brandt, even though she's in the same weight class, does have that going for her. And you see the good work that that she has done, Sanchez.
And you take a look at a loaded female featherweight leaderboard as these 2 fighters mixing it up right away. Amelia, looks like this fight has come as advertised stylistically.
100%. You know, Erica just came in with that massive overhand right connecting on Tiara. Tiara is having just a bit of an issue with the pressure. You know, Sanchez took her time coming in there, kind of testing it out. She has very good head movement. Testing to see if Brandt was going to be able to throw anything or give her any adjustments off of that. So can she dive in? Can she not dive in off of Brandt's offense?
All right, and here's the right hand power by Sanchez, and she's really digging in inside.
Yeah, Sanchez reminds me of Mayela Flores, a pro-woman boxer who just fought for a title or defended her title but didn't do it successfully, but showed her phenomenal action as she came in. And that's what Sanchez reminds me of her. She just is relentless in her pressure. And for Brandt, it's going to be incumbent upon her in this and their second matchup to get that jab working and try to get the straight right hand behind it and keep the distance a little better.
And there's some good work here by Sanchez, and Brandt is back at her. Good power strength, good uppercut by Sanchez.
You know, the thing about fighting Sanchez, and there's a nice counter right by Brandt, is she works both the left hook and the right hand. And even sometimes she doesn't have to even jab her way in. She just walks in and pounds away with that pressure.
Amelia, how do you like what Sanchez is doing here?
Listen, her body shots are phenomenal, and it's something that we've talked about over and over again. I mean, her arsenal, I love the way she shakes it up to the body, to the head. You don't know where it's coming from, and she's showing IQ.
All right, here is Sanchez trying to close in. Good shots here by Sanchez, up and down, and here is Brandt coming back at her.
You know, Tierra Brandt has the ability to do what we just saw there. Throws nice, sharp punches on the inside. The problem is, it's just hard to deter Sanchez. And you land 2 or 3 good ones, as Tierra Brandt did, but and a nice counter left hook, but it doesn't deter Sanchez, and she keeps coming, throwing punches.
Oh, that was a great bit of work here. Terrific fight. Tierra Brandt, Erica Sanchez. Don't blink on this one.
Well, this is exactly what we thought. Look at that nice right hand from Brandt. Did that stop Erica Sanchez? No. And she just kept coming and coming. And there she is working to the body, which was a very important part of what she was doing. And you see those nice little shots on the inside by Brandt. She threw and landed some of those, but it was this rain of punches.
Round 9 by way of unanimous decision from the LA Elite, Erica Sanchez.
Well, she's in the rankings and one of the top fighters there for a reason.
She remains perfect this season.
Round 10 at featherweight, Phoenix, Alejandro Mediano, LA, Sean Brewer.
All right, Quintero and the Ghost. Mediano and Brewer.
Brewer was able to get the nod in their first fight, and it was pretty close. Mediano did some good body work, but couldn't quite do enough to make the difference in that match.
The Brewer had some great counter shots and the uppercuts. He's going to make the first move. Good jab, double jab here.
Yeah, Brewer in the first fight used the jab fairly effectively, but it was a little underused by him. When he did use it, it was effective.
Second fight back. He was conscious. Everybody told him, hey, use that jab. Coaches, and you've got it in the arsenal. Use it more. Mediano trying to utilize some movement here.
And that's the part that's fascinating about, team boxing, because you come after somebody a second time and you have a chance to adjust. And Brewer has been much busier in this round than he was in the first one. And he ended up getting the close decision in that one, but he's done more work to really in this matchup. And I said in the first round, he's very much a boxer puncher, and he's showing that. And Mediano has not been able to close the distance very well in this round. He did a better job of that in round 1. The first round they fought.
He's eating a little bit more leather on the way in, and it's making him pause somewhat before he launches in. A sneaky right hand by Brewer. Even though it didn't land, it did make Mediano reset.
Yeah, Mediano from the Philippines, living in Las Vegas, as we said, and 7-1 as a pro outside of TBL, trying to use this platform to make himself better. And he came in tonight 1-0 this season. The win over Ioannis Argelagos, who's a good fighter, but he's had a problem with Sean Brewer. And Brewer's the one that's the pursuer at the end of the round.
And he thinks he brought this home.
You kind of see a look of resignation on Alejandro Miniano's face, and for this man, he's thinking he's got it, and I would suspect he does, and it will make this even a closer contest.
TBL fans, the winner of round 10 by way of unanimous decision from the LA Elite, Sean Brewer.
All right, so
The
Sean
score,
Brewer
Phoenix 7, LA 5.
pulls LA within 2.
Round 11 at lightweight, Phoenix, Kevin Quintero. LA, Diego Dominguez.
Kevin Quintero 6-0-1 outside of TBL. 2-2 TBL, last win over Osvaldo Caballero, who was 12-7, so that was good for him. And the Ghost has found the winning formula to be a ghost for him. He wants to get himself back where he was last year when he won 8 in a row.
Yeah, 12-2 coming into this season where he's been 0-4. So 2 of those 4 losses, though, for him were split decisions. So Dominguez has been in all these fights. He just hasn't quite gotten there. And, you know, in Kevin Quintero's first TBL fight, he debuted this year, his win over Herbo Francois cemented the win for the Boston Butchers, for his team over the Boston Butchers, and helped the Fury win that one.
Yeah, that was a great pressure fight for him, and that was also, we saw that punch by Francois, almost a punch heard around the world. He launched it, had he landed it, it would have gotten home. And change the outcome. Emilio, what are you seeing so far in this matchup of these fighters?
As far as, I mean, they're trading, and it seems as though Quintero is doing a good job as far as trying to use the barrage of punches. But the problem is that Diego is just coming back, and it feels like such an even match so far, where it's been such a great combination between the two.
Yeah, they've taken turns negating and taking turns coming forward. The Ghost is stalking. There's a right hand by Dominguez. Walks into a right hand by Quintero.
Quintero has snuck in that right hand on several occasions, and so has Dominguez. Dominguez's short right hand has been very effective.
Looping shot by Quintero does not get home. Tying each other up, 40 seconds to go. Good left hook there by the Ghost.
Dominguez not used to being 0-4 at any point in TBL, so for him, he's trying to really get this win and also put his team in better position.
Yeah, he's been aggressive as he tries to make it 3 out of the box in the middle rounds for Los Angeles.
The Dominguez right hand has been, I think, a little more effective and a little more accurate than Quintero's has been.
And the LA Corral would seem to agree with that.
There they are, rooting on their guy as the Fury rooted on Quintero.
Can LA pull this within 1? See how they were trying to do it.
And there they are working on the inside. We'll see who won this one.
The winner of round 11 by way of unanimous decision from Phoenix, Kevin Quintero.
Well, Kevin Quintero gets that one.
LA 5.
Yeah, when you looked at the crowds were saying they both thought it was going to be LA.
Yeah.
Judges said no.
Phoenix, James Pierce. LA, Jose Pablo Rodriguez.
Pierce and Rodriguez. Pierce won their first matchup back in round 4. So he tries to make this a double.
Yeah, James Pierce, a very clever lefty who is tricky to hit. Even though there were times when Rodriguez was able to get those right hands in. And really, I thought that round was really close. And some of those rights by Rodriguez could have tipped the scale for him, but didn't quite with the judges.
So now Rodriguez trying to come in and get close and land his right hands again.
You know, I mentioned in their first fight that Pierce fought on May 2nd, you know, just a few weeks ago. And yet he is very energetic here tonight. You know, he's, granted, these are one-round segments, but he's showing he's fresh here tonight.
And you do the one round, and the important thing is you stay in the gym for that time in between. And then they say, okay, all this time in the gym sparring, maybe 6 rounds, 4 rounds, and now go out and give us one, twice.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Good work here by Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's there. Then Pierce counters him, right? But with a good combination. But Rodriguez has been able to work both the body and get those right hands in again in this round. But is that going to be enough for him? And there's still plenty of time to go. We're halfway through the round only.
Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein with you, along with Amelia Moore at ringside as we come to the end bout. This will create the halfway point of the fight. Phoenix has been leading right throughout. LA is right there.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, back and forth between these two fighters. Both of them throwing a lot of punches. I actually think Pierce has been a little more precise, even though he won the first one. I think he's been a little more precise than he was in his first fight with his punches. Although, and there's an example with that straight left hand. And he's giving just enough movement to Rodriguez to make it a little harder for him to land. But Rodriguez, what does he do? He gets the right hand in. That's been his trademark.
He's loading up with that, and Pierce trying to counter. And this is exciting, just like their first one. Yeah, when these punches are missing, they're missing by inches. And, you know, you throw yours, I throw mine. There's Pierce. There's Rodriguez. A good shot by Pierce. Even on the ropes, he's able to land.
They have both done such good work here. And there's that nose, blood from the nose again, as there was in the first fight for Rodriguez. And there's the body work from Rodriguez. And a right again. That's just his, you know, game plan here.
Big shots by Rodriguez at the buzzer. Would that be enough? Just before the bell, he landed some terrific right hand.
This one will be a candidate for round of the night, I assure you. And the first one was good. This one better. And that was Rodriguez when he was doing some of that great body work. And then Pierce counter-punching off the ropes. We saw plenty of that from him. And Rodriguez found a home for that right hand and body work toward the end. But I'll tell you, that's a close one.
How much did that late burst matter?
TBL fans, the winner of round 12 by way of split decision. From the LA Elite, Jose Pablo Rodriguez. The score, Phoenix 8,
So,
LA
8-6 as Phoenix continues to nurture the lead. But LA says, don't go to sleep on us. We'll be right there, and we'll be right back with the second half of this one. This has been tight and intriguing all night. Phoenix just a little bit ahead of LA the whole time. The second half is about to start. Let's take it back inside and pick up the action.
Round 13 at welterweight. Phoenix, Demetrius Watson. LA, Osvaldo Lopez.
Watson, 11-0 outside TBL. Combined with both, he's 19-0. Both of these fighters 19-0 as pros outside the TBL. To try to make their mark inside TBL.
And for Watson, as he faces, Osvaldo Lopez, as you mentioned, 8-0-1 as a pro outside of TBL. Well, Watson's foes to get that 11-0 record have all, except for one, had losing records. So here he is really facing probably the toughest opposition he's had as a pro.
You take a look at Lopez and some of his key credentials. Net points per round. Total net points +2. Some of the key stats as we come up on one of the key fights in here.
And tonight is the first time for Lopez this season that he will be fighting twice in an evening.
And that's really something we'll watch the second time he fights, how he handles the stamina. Two of his victories this year have come against Darius Castro, who's very good, and Charles Garner.
Wow, these two are emulating our previous fight with Rodriguez and Pierce. They're both being very active and landing some nice shots, and Watson getting his first taste of TBL action.
I think up and down the card too, the fighters have taken a step up with this crowd being excited as it is. I mean, you're in there and you're hearing a lot, and there is a different theme and a feel with 1,200 very loud fans.
Watson is throwing some great combinations, getting hit with some shots like that right hand by Lopez. And again, I think it's fascinating that they might not have been matched in regular boxing with their records, but they are matched in team boxing.
That's a good point, because 11-0 and 8-0 will stay away from him for quite some time.
They would marinate that fight a little bit more. And Watson, I mentioned he's fighting maybe his best fighter, but I'll tell you what, he's acquitting himself well in there against probably the best man he's faced. And Lopez has done his share of good offensive work as well, like that left hook that got in.
Watson pressuring Lopez, fighting as a good counter puncher, and then here the lead jab, and he ate a right hand. It's like sequence after sequence. I load up, you load up, see how it works out. We'll both crank it up again and come back at each other. Oh, sweet uppercut there.
Watson has really leaned on that punch.
Think about the uppercut too. It is such a visible shot to the judges.
That was a great round of boxing, and both Watson and Lopez left it all in there. Boy, they just really fought hard. And we mentioned the uppercuts of Watson, and he was able to get this one in. That was a beauty. And the body work and some of the work, the right hands on the inside for Lopez were there. And between these two men, they both did good offensive work.
Excellent pace to this fight.
TBL fans, the winner of round 13 by way of split decision. From the Phoenix Fury, Demetrius Watson.
And another candidate for round of the night back-to-back. So, Phoenix continues to nudge its way a little bit ahead.
14 at middleweight, Phoenix, Jordan Barrera.
Hi, Jordan Barrera
Martin Saldana.
and Martin Saldano. Barrera dropped him last time they fought. And we're into round 14, and Amelia has a special guest. So here we are with the jab by Barrera. Saldano right there.
Barrera.
All right, we're all queued up. Let's get to that interview now with Amelia. Go ahead.
So sorry, some technical difficulties there. I was trying to grab you. So here with Alejandro, we were talking earlier and just talking about some of the journey that kind of brought you into boxing. And originally, you've had quite the journey. You were born and grew up in the Philippines, and then really moved to Hawaii, and that's where you grew up. And that's really where you started boxing in Hawaii, which has an incredible culture there for boxing.
Yeah, I grew up in Hawaii. You know, fighting was Hawaii, like everybody scraps, like everybody's fighting like outside of the ring. So I just got into the gym one day and I just fell in love with it. Yeah.
And then here you are with boxing. TBL brought you. You had you knew Elijah Akana very well. Was another TBL Phoenix Fury athlete, and now here you are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I look up to Elijah Akana. You know, he was a big bro to me. He put me on to Team Combat League, and yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy fighting for Combat League. Yeah.
This is awesome to get you on the mic. We'd love to do some more time. We have to cast it back to the studio right now, but it will get you back on the mic again soon.
All right,
thank you so much.
Meanwhile, Barrera has been putting his own touch on this.
Yes, another power outburst from him, sending Saldano down, and he's, you know, he has shown us power with the right hook, straight left hand. Saldano, you know, he's come back like he did in the other round to do his best offensively, but it's been tough for him against Barrera.
In the hole again here is Phoenix trying to get to its biggest lead, and the opportunity is here with already one extra point in the bank, and Barrera getting knockdowns in both. Up to 5 wins in a row now this year over the season, 3-0 this year.
Yeah, he is joining, as I said before, the long line of Cuban fighters here in the, originally from Cuba here in this league that are distinguishing themselves. And so many of them lefties, it seems. And I'll tell you, Barrera is right in with that group. He is gaining momentum here.
So many terrific Cuban southpaws, and then they've been dispersed throughout the country. Initially, Miami had the most amount of them naturally. Then we saw many gravitate to Las Vegas, and now other teams in the league, Phoenix getting their share. Hey, he dropped a guy with 19-0 record twice.
Yeah, that's significant. I mean, I remember Saldano came onto this team. They thought to give them an infusion and they brought in a 19-0 guy. Okay, that's going to give us a little infusion of will. And you know, he's fought okay, but he hasn't been able to provide that. And there's the straight left hand of Barrera. And man, you know, Saldano very disappointed.
TBL fans, the winner of round 14 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to Phoenix as Jordan Barrera.
So Barrera, not only a double, but a double-double. 2 two-pointers, 11-6 for Phoenix, their biggest lead as we head to fight number 15. And they've got Raiko Santana now.
Light heavyweight Phoenix, Raiko Santana. LA Angel Lozano.
Raiko Santana, 21-3, TBL second year, has 15 in a row. Won his first 4 this year, and had won 15. He split with Johanler Martinez, and that's one of the big bright lights on the Vegas team.
Yeah, when that's your only loss, and he also won one that night against Martinez. This is not what you want to see if you're LA at this point. Raiko Santana, 5-1 on a roll. And Angel Lozano, who has yet to get a win this season. You know, his last time out in TBL, he lost 2 to William Langston. He's a solid left-hander.
And he also lost twice to Santana last year. So he's trying to get out of the slump, and Santana has been picking up where he left off in the second half of last year. And of course, we mentioned that knockout on the pay-per-view card after he had a very good season here, crediting TBL with making him start faster. That was a first-round knockout. And he's been another fighter. We've seen his confidence grow all throughout the second half of last year and now.
Yeah, his upset of Steve Nelson was a big one. And you know, he's just so aggressive. You know, if you don't stop that aggression from Santana, he's going to eat you up. And he's doing that really right now to Lozano. Pressure is just, you know, hard for Lozano to deal with.
And a lot of power coming from Santana. The good jab, so he avoids getting nailed on the way in. And this is a real power slot here for Phoenix. Good right hand by Santana.
The problem for Lozano is he's got to land something, a counterpunch hard enough to make Santana not be able to come forward.
And he just doesn't have the snap on the shots compared to what Santana is showing him thus far in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, and in boxing outside DBL, Lozano has 6 KOs in his 8 wins, but you know, he's not been able to generate that instant power here in team boxing.
The point that we have rarely had to discuss. I mean, you get some confidence coming out of here when you have a good record. What about when you can't win here and you've been very good outside?
It could be disheartening.
Yeah, and then you're going to carry it forward into your traditional boxing. In the back of your head, can you shake it off?
Yeah, and they are different for sure. So, you know, you have to recognize that if you don't do well. Well, Roger Hilly, we talked about him the other night. He's a perfect example. He's 14-1. He only lost to a top lightweight, and yet he's had trouble here. Raiko Santana just using this whole round to offensively dismantle Lozano.
Well, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the circuit, and one of the hottest right now, going back to last year, Raiko Santana.
Santana using the jab. Oh, that's one of the things that's great about him as a pressure fighter. We saw him use his jab, and then he threw it right in. He uses his jab to get inside. And also, of course, it sets up that straight right hand as well.
TBL fans, the winner of round 15 by way of unanimous decision. From the Phoenix Fury, Raiko Santana.
All right, Santana.
Phoenix is in front of LA 12-6.
Giving Phoenix its biggest lead.
Round of 16 and heavyweight. Phoenix Manuel Villalobos. LA Jamal Scott.
Villalobos 1-5. Did put Phoenix up over Boston, though. That one big win was a knockout that brought Phoenix all the way back from a 7-1 deficit. That was his first one of the year, and he's lost his last 2. Heinrich Ruiz, very good fighter, did topple him.
Yeah, that knockout over Kimbo Boykin really helped him get, as you say, get that win. And Ruiz, who's been a very solid performer at 5-1 this season, and 16-4 overall in TBL. So, you know, losing to him is not that big a shame. But, you know, Villalobos, as you said, did show that power. Right now, LA, from Jamal Scott, who's making his TBL debut, they would like some power from him because they need that to get back in this match.
It's 12-6 for Phoenix. If you're LA trying to come back, you're saying we need one string and one stoppage.
In Scott's one pro fight that he's had, he did knock out Cesar Orozco in the second round. So he's got some pop in his punches. But there is no second round here.
Nope. And there may not even be any more of this one. It looks like it's over. A big right hand. Wow. Villalobos, when he wins big.
Well, the right hand was what undid Boykin, and it does the same to Scott.
Boy, right after idea that there's no second round, Villalobos short circuits the first round. And this is a guy with sneaky power.
Yeah, the right hand, he's got a good one. Now that one was started with the uppercut, which is not a punch Villalobos is known for, but he got it right in there. There it was. That was the punch that I think hurt him. And then he landed a nice little right hand afterwards. But lots of power for him in creating his second knockout of the season. And very impressive.
Break up the Phoenix Fury. Not only knockdowns tonight, but now knockouts. A four-pointer. What a way to end the middle rounds.
The end comes at 1 minute 9 seconds of round 16 for your winner by knockout. 4 points going to Phoenix's Manuel Villalobos. Let's go at the end of the middle rounds. Phoenix 16, LA 6.
So the onslaught continues for the Phoenix Fury with power coming from many sources. Well, you're going to want to see all the action on TBL, and we want to tell you how you can see it. Here's Dave Bontempo.
Thanks, Al. We've enjoyed all the excitement and people asking us, where can we catch TBL? Well, here are a lot of places where we have been seen. You can now watch us on MSG Networks and the Gotham Sports app, as well as on our home network, Envoy Fast. Plus, the full season of Encores are on Envoy TV every day. Download the Envoy app. Connected TV users with Samsung, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, and LG devices can download the TBL app and watch both live action and play previous matches on demand. TBL is also seen on YouTube, the TBL app, and in Spanish on the Estrella Network.
Nighttime in Southern California, and Phoenix trying to turn out the lights on the LA Elite. on their home area. Great performance thus far for this Phoenix team. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein. And yeah, we were impressed that Phoenix had a good launch round, but those middle rounds were something else.
Yeah, that was spectacular. You know, they have had such a power surge here tonight, coming from a number of different sources, especially from Jordan Barrera, who has twice added a point on for them.
Yes, a new term, the double-double for Barrera. Let's take a look at the highlight rounds and how we got to this point. Of course, Erica Sanchez, stop us if you've heard this before. This is pretty special in this league.
She is against Tiara Brandt, a very, very good fighter. Her pressure was so superb. Even though Brandt landed solid punches on the inside like that, she could not deter Erica Sanchez, and Sanchez still perfect this season.
And then in round 14, this is where the pull-away began in earnest with Jordan Barrera. Did we say he had a knockdown in his last fight? How about we do it again?
Yeah, Saldano twice the victim of these knockdowns, and twice Barrera getting a 2-point score for the Phoenix Fury.
Kind of the equivalent of one knockout, two pointers. And then in round 16, the Thunderman, Manuel Villalobos, for the second time, we saw this.
Yeah, that was a lot of power from him, just as he showed against Kimbo Boykin earlier in the year. That Boykin was an overhand right. This was an uppercut, and that was a 4-point.
All right, so 3 fighters representing that second tier of Phoenix fighters behind the guy that we're going to see in the launch, the round to watch in the money rounds here, Raiko Santana.
Yeah, we picked 18 because we honestly thought Raiko Santana might be needed at that point, and maybe he still will be if there's a power surge by LA. Taking on Angel Lozano again, he certainly handled him in their first fight.
All right, so the Phoenix onslaught continues into the money rounds. Take it inside, and here is Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, from a sold-out Thunder Studios here in Los Angeles, it is time to begin the money rounds between the Phoenix Fury and LA Elite. Round 17 at Featherweight, Phoenix Tiara Brandt, LA Erica Sanchez.
All right, it was a real good one the first time between these two fighters. Non-stop action. Sanchez trying to work her way inside Tiara Brandt, and she did that in getting the nod. 16-6. Big gap here for Phoenix in its finest performance, I would say, in the last 2 seasons. Not just this year, up to now, but all of last year, too.
That move down in weight, as you see the great record of Sanchez fighting up at a higher weight. She did well, but it wasn't as good as it could have been for her. Now at this weight, at 126, she is a handful for everybody.
You don't see Ariel Davis. You don't see Stacia Suttles. You don't see all those names that she was right in there with, and just on the cusp of getting beating a number of them, and she comes down here and she has been a juggernaut. So that's one of the big moves the LA coaching staff made that has worked out. And Amelia, as we're watching this rematch, does this look like deja vu, or are you seeing something different here?
I'm seeing just a little bit of a difference in the fight. Erica doesn't seem to have as much energy going into this. You know, that there's time that you come out of the ring, they go into that first launch rounds, and then, well, excuse me, the beginning of the middle rounds, and then can you get that nervous system? Can you get the body hot enough to go back in? So it seems like the tempo is a little bit slower than it was, but maybe just warming up. And I feel like Tiara's had a better offense as far as being able to use the ring and her straight punches, but here we are seeing Erica start to step it up again.
All right, so Sanchez is stalking Al, and we noticed a lot of this in the first fight with her pushing the pedal on the inside.
Yeah, and I agree with Amelia. Brandt has used this ring better and been a little more precise in landing her counter punches and some good right hands. But you just know there's going to be that power burst and that action from Sanchez, and we're getting it in the last 30 seconds or so. We've seen it.
She's loading up, and also the punitive body shots as she'll work her way in there. That's a terrific hook by Sanchez, and she follows it up again. That is 3 nice left hooks to the head, and the right hand that just missed.
You know, Brandt had done a better job for a lot of this round in controlling the geography of the fight. Not so much in the last minute of this round, and it's allowed Sanchez to come back and, like you say, land those hooks and some good body punches as well.
Amelia looks like she heard the wake-up call, huh? About stepping up the pressure.
Yes, absolutely. And the body shots are going to be what makes the difference for Sanchez every time. Getting Tierra to slow down her foot movement using that ring.
All right, so the patented performance by Erica Sanchez. Except no imitations. That is a perfect, good body work, head combination by her, workmanlike, gritty, and powerful.
Well, we see how she kind of turned things around in this round. Brandt doing a pretty good job of counterpunching there, and that was toward the end of the round. But good work offensively by Sanchez through the last minute of the round.
Fans, the winner of round 17 by way of unanimous decision from the LA Elite, Erica Sanchez. The score, Phoenix 16, LA 7. Round 18 at light heavyweight. Phoenix Raico Santana. LA Angel Lozano.
That's Raico Santana will try to make it a double. Gave a great performance their first time out, and then won his 3rd in a row over Angel Lozano.
If Lozano is going to get through this and get anything done, he's going to have to counterpunch better than he did the first time against the charging Santana. That's easier said than done. And what he is doing, he came right out and said, all right, I'm going to move forward and use my stick and my height and reach and see if I could control him a little bit with that punch. That's a great idea. And a little more movement from him. That's also a good idea.
See the leaderboard, and there is Raico Santana +5. Jesse Hart from Philadelphia +10, early knockout. There's Johanna Martinez. We talked about him at a nice +7. So this is one of the elite performers in his division in this round to watch, and he is really teeing off right now.
Yeah, those top 3 in the light heavyweight division are fun to watch. And as we head toward the playoffs, there are going to be some great matchups.
Amelia, what do you notice different from Raico Santana now than versus last year when he really started this streak that he's taken off on?
I feel like Raico as a whole, I mean, last year I felt like he just came out hard. We're starting to see a little bit more boxing he's taking his time a little bit more, using a little bit more boxing etiquette. He still has that stylistic pressure, and he's so darn strong. You know, with Lozano, it's like with Raico, you cannot take your mind out of the game for a single second. He has this pressure where he's constantly on you, and it will break your mind down. And Lozano does a really great job at the beginning of this round, using his reach, keeping him on the outside. He has the height, but I feel like he just doesn't keep the confidence in his mind that he can maintain that or that it's being effective. And so then you get on the ropes with Raico having you on the ropes, and it's just, he's going to wear you down.
And that's what he has been doing, and we've been very close to seeing some explosion with some of his right hands and the left hook on the inside.
You know, we talked about the top light heavyweights. He's 21-3, Santana, in TBL, and his only losses to Jesse Hart, Abimbola, Osundairo, and Johanna Martinez.
Couple of them already on the leaderboard.
Yeah,
so
I mean, and those were previous, to this. So it's, He's right there with all those guys.
And he has been in a way, like one of the more rapidly ascending fighters in the league, and it was rewarded by such as a top fighter in the league overall last year. So he continues to live up to the billing. What I really love about Santana is there's no such thing as one punch at a time.
No. Yeah, he puts his punches together so well and uses the jab. And the point Amelia was making, it's not just pure aggression. There's a lot going on there in terms of the skill set. And he probably created another double for himself.
Yeah, that was a real solid performance in the second half of the round, especially after Lozano had come out quickly. Raiko Santana just teed off and then settled into what he had been doing. You saw some of the good action by Lozano, and then that great right hand work on the inside by Raiko Santana.
It's the winner of round 18 by way of unanimous decision. From the Phoenix Fury, Raiko Santana. The score, Phoenix 17, LA 7.
Hi, Brenda Cardenas and Lizette Lopez.
Featherweight, Phoenix, Brenda Cardenas. LA, Lizette Lopez.
All right, Lopez won their first matchup earlier tonight. The seniority people in this league, all 4 years she has seen the league develop all the way up to this point, and to her credit, she's been here and holding her own as more talent comes into the league.
Notching her 31st victory in team boxing earlier this evening. That's impressive.
It really is. It's a testament to how good you have to be to keep your spot.
Yeah, exactly, because it is not easy, and you're forced to face matchups that you don't pick. Nobody pick. You know, your management isn't picking people they think you can beat. You're in a league, and you're going to have to fight who you fight.
And she's had that evolution we talk about fighters coming in, learning it, and then coming on. So she started 4-4, and then won 6 in a row, then lost 3, and just picked it up. And has been solid, winning 2 out of every 3 over the course of 4 years.
And she's the kind of fighter that, Cardenas wants to get on the inside and bang away with her. Lopez is the kind of fighter who does exactly what it takes to win. She isn't a huge puncher. She doesn't reel off dazzling combinations, but she pecks away with that jab, the straight left hand. You see her there, doing enough to win decisions.
Key to that, really no idle moments. You'll just be pesky for 3 minutes.
Cardenas, a pressure fighter who's trying to get on the inside and get it done. She had a winner last fight out, a split decision against Jordan Edwards. So she's 2-3 now this season with her loss to Lopez. So she's been in the fights she's had.
As example, Lopez just touching you, scoring.
And defensively, we see her slipping a lot of punches, too. That's a big part of her game plan.
Did that with the head, moved toward her opponent, and was able to make the left hook go over her.
Lopez had one pro fight in 2022, and none since, outside of TBL, and none since she became a team boxing league performer. This has been her pro career.
Yeah, and so many different ways to utilize this platform. We've seen a good number of fighters say, hey, I'm going to take off from that circuit and try to make a home on this one. So Lizette Lopez, a charter member of TBL, trying to make it win number 32.
And that was the quintessential Lisette Lopez fight, you know, doing work continually, pecking away with the jab, the straight left hand, touching, as you said there. Look at there, you know, she led with the left hand, then came with the jab. It was interesting, you know, an odd combination, but touching her opponent constantly.
TBL bands the winner of round 19 by way of split decision. From the LA Elite, Lisette Lopez.
I'd chalk up another one. As you said, just enough to get it done. Knows exactly how to do it.
20 will be in the heavyweight division. Phoenix, Dante Stone. LA, Jonathan Rice.
All right, Stone got the nod over Rice the first time.
Well, obviously, this match, the only way the LA Elite could come back is with a series of knockouts. They need knockdowns, they need knockouts. Jonathan Rice has power, we know that. He hasn't scored a knockdown or knockout yet in Team Boxing League, though he came close against Nagy Aguilera. So he's going to want to try to land one of those big right hands against Dante Stone.
And if they're looking at people who could be a possibility, that would be him. Of course, he first has to adjust to a guy who beat him.
Yes. And I think the left-handed stance of Dante Stone is giving Jonathan Rice some issues. And Rice is a veteran. He's seen lefties for sure before. But, you know, in the heavyweight division, you don't fight very many lefties.
No, and so that right hand travels a different path. The fighter's in a different spot.
And Dante Stone is a clever operator in there. You know, he's a veteran pro like his opponent, Jonathan Rice, and he is not the easiest guy to hit with these big punches.
As we saw in the first fight, he set up shop just outside the reach of the power and did it without making it look like he was retreating. So he would start out there, work an angle in, score, and get away.
And anybody that's capable against whatever opposition of creating a 25 win streak, which Stone did outside of TBL at one point in his career, you know he's got to be a clever fighter in there. And this 8-year pro veteran is. And so for Jonathan Rice, he just has to find a way to see if he can land something significant. But again, there's a right hand that whistles over the head of Dante Stone.
And for Jonathan Rice, I think overall, he's had some good moments, but we probably would like to see him set a faster pace if he could. Overall, in all of his fights, not that easy.
No, and you know, he came in here undefeated this season and then suffered that loss to Dante Stone. So Rice has been having himself a banner year in TBL.
Tried to get that right hand home on a counter against Stone. Stone blocking a good part of that. That was a good right hand by Rice.
Got a reaction from Dante Stone. Stone is attacking more than we're used to seeing. All of a sudden, he's Mr. Aggression in there.
When they talk about certain guys enjoyed being hit and reacted after they got hit, he decided to step it up right after he got hit.
Intriguing. And became more animated than we've seen Dante Stone.
Jonathan Rice might be saying, I just missed with that one, man. You're lucky the bell rang. Well, this is what we saw at the end of the first time, his signature departure.
Well, here's where Dante Stone became aggressive here. Didn't land everything, but he was coming forward and good body work there by Rice. You know, this one going to be tough. Maybe those right hands from Rice tip the balance.
TBL fans, the winner of round 20 by way of split decision. From Phoenix, Dante Stone.
All right, so Dante Stone able to double it up against Jonathan Rice. And the Phoenix train continues to roll through Los Angeles. Big night for the Phoenix Fury. We've got 4 rounds left. Stay with us. Phoenix doing the number tonight in LA. Let's go back inside to the ring. Here is Ray Flores.
Round 21 at Bantamweight. Phoenix, Aniela Lopez, LA, Elena Monduano.
Lopez scored a knockdown over Monduano in the first fight. And regardless of the score, it's good to point out that you're LA, you still want to scramble and get as many of these points as possible. We are in the second half of the season. Playoff positioning is here, and the margin of your plus points will matter in tiebreakers for playoff consideration.
And to this point, even in their 2 losses, very close losses for LA. So they've done a pretty good job of keeping every match close. And I mentioned they were 5 points away from being undefeated.
They probably had the best scenario in the point differential department than any other team.
Yes, going into this, and tonight just hasn't been at what they want, but they still have some opportunities to close that distance.
And they'll try to do it here with Monduano, who was dropped at the end of the fight with Lopez. And that looked tactical until the very end.
Yeah, that was a fight that was still winnable for her and very close. But it was that left hook that really closed the deal.
Monduano trying to cut off the ring, but cautious about getting too close too quick.
Lopez used this movement in the first encounter between these two to get her 4th win of this season. And you know, when we talk about women that are succeeding this year, the 34-year-old Lopez has really done that. I mean, she's 4-0 this season, and now she's added a 2-pointer to the mix. And this is the first time. Oh, wow.
Big shot by Lopez. That looked like it would be a knockdown, and somehow not. Boy, that's a miraculous near miss.
And Monduano coming forward, even though she's the one that got tagged and stunned. I was going to mention this is the first time Lopez is fighting twice in one night ever in the TBL, and she's acquitting herself extremely well in the second fight.
Wow, good double left-handed and right from Lopez. Well, she's been emboldened. First, I think she was emboldened by the knockdown at the end of that first fight. And yeah, her confidence level there. I'll tell you, this is the Matador Bull scenario, and she, even though she just got nailed, she's done a good job against the fighter coming in.
Yeah, she has. That Monduano right hand was one of the best punches she's landed in these 2 rounds against Lopez. And Lopez, he's looking for that left hook. You can feel it, and she did stun Monduano earlier. She's looking for that punch again. And the right as well.
Yeah, Monduano coming straight forward, but Now we did have a clash of heads, and it's called here as the blood shows up. As they both looked for positioning. And the key is that they are ruling the clash of heads, because if it was a cut, if it's ruled a cut, and then the fight had to be stopped, you lose 4 points. So that to correct call and an important one.
Well, and Thomas Taylor, oh my!
How about that? Mandujano drops her opponent, and it's over. Wow! Wow! And Yellow Lopez this close to getting a knockdown, and what a ferocious comeback from Mandujano through all the blood.
Well, there had been a right hand a little bit before that was a portent of what was to come. But here's where the clash of heads had happened, and that created a nasty cut for Mandujano. Then, look what happened. Another right hand. There had been a good one, I'm going to say a minute before that. This one really stunned Lopez, and Thomas Taylor, who, as I said, is one of the best referees in boxing, makes the correct decision. That was a beautiful right hand fight, Mandujano. And she gets 4 points, as we were talking about, 4 valuable points for LA.
What a way to pull it out. This fight looked like it was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, this particular fight was gone, and then she turns it around. So it's 4, but it's really 5 as far as its impact, and nearly 6 because of the knockdown that almost happened.
In charge, Thomas Taylor waves off the butt at 2 minutes and 54 seconds of round 21 for your winner by knockout. 4 points going to LA Elite,
Elena Mandujano. How about that?
Round 22 at super middleweight. Phoenix, Sebastian Duran. LA, Samuel Isak.
Duran and Isak. Boy, how about those women there? Each of them getting a knockdown over the other and one stopping. That was a wow moment here.
And this fight is an interesting one because it's a rematch, obviously, and it was one in which Isaac couldn't quite get the job done the last time these two men met. But he did do some good offensive work, even though Duran was an offensive machine for a good portion of the 3-minute round.
All right, so as LA has made this more interesting, Amelia is standing by with a special guest.
Angel, we just have to talk about what just happened with your teammate and how crazy the crowd just went for her. I mean, they just loved that.
No, yeah, that was intense right now. You know, she got caught early in the first round with the same girl with a left hook, and you know, we were all just telling her, come get your get back, and she came and made a statement right now by getting the stoppage. You know, our team really needs it right now, so that was huge for her, and yeah, shout out to her for getting that. Happy for her.
So I want to talk about your fight with Raiko Santana. I was really impressed by the way that you were able to use your offense in the beginning. But what it looked like to me was because they weren't massive shots, you were still able to keep them out, but it almost felt like you were losing confidence in that moment. If you had stayed there, I felt that was one of the best offensive work that's ever been done with Raiko.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I know that I have a good jab, and I fought Raiko last year, and it was a close fight. You know, and this fight I tried to come out and use my jab, but I didn't want to look like I'm running by just boxing them and jabbing them, because I know this team boxing league is more, they want action. So I didn't want to look like I'm running from him, you know, and I tried to sit there a little bit on the ropes and try to make it more entertaining, but, you know, it didn't look too good that I'm catching the shots, you know. None of the shots were really landing or any threat on me, but they looked more busier than me, so it did. You know, but I just got to go back to the gym and, you know, back to work and go.
I really enjoyed the fight, though, to be completely honest, and I can't wait for you guys to match up again. Thank you. Get us back in the ring. Lots of action.
Yes, and action threatening to turn the momentum of this, which has been explosive now.
Yeah, Isaac's getting more done offensively than he did in the first fight, but boy, he's found a home for the left hook and the right. And Sebastian Duran had his way in that first round. Not so much in this one.
And
oh, wow, he just hurt Isaac.
oh, he certainly did. What a turnaround. And look at that. Is it over like that? 4 points the other way with a quick stoppage. And it'd be interesting to look at that one again, as that one initially looked a little quick, but referee, seeing something dangerous, jumps in there. Well, let's see.
We'll take a look at it. Now, definitely Isaac was hurt. He was wobbly. His legs were shaky. And, boy, yeah, he was in trouble.
That big second one, there you go.
You know, you might have made a case for Thomas Taylor waiting a couple of more seconds, but honestly, I'm not sure that was bad stoppage, because he was in some trouble, and 3 or 4 more punches might have come straight down the pike on him.
It was actually, it's within the legitimate zone of that. You know, referee can do it or not do it.
Referee in charge, Thomas Taylor, waves off the buck. And 2 minutes, 17 seconds of round 22 for your winner by knockout. 4 points going to the Phoenix Fury, Sebastian Duran.
We have had phenomenal turns here because, okay, so LA needs those points in the last fight, rallies in a fight they were losing and gets them. Here it looked like they might get some more back, and 4 goes the other way.
Judah Israel.
Lots of quick turnarounds.
Well, if you love the slugging and you love the power, you came to the right place tonight, because we have seen both teams able to load up.
And plenty of drama in terms of twists and turns, that's for sure. And now this crowd will get to see Avahat Gordon another time against Judah Israel.
Yeah, Gordon won a split decision in the debut he had way back in round 5.
That was many knockdowns ago.
That's exactly right. Hey, how many times have we done fights? 1 knockdown for the fight.
Yeah.
And we have 1 knockdown every couple of fights here. This has been a fistic bonanza.
That man, Judah Israel, and there's Gordon. Israel still looking for his first win this season, which is his debut season in TBL. And Gordon in his very first outing here after a great beginning of his career in other mixed martial arts like Muay Thai and the one championships, which are MMA, trying his hand at boxing and getting the win.
Judah
Certainly one of the most explosive and interesting money rounds we've had. We've had back-to-back knockouts from the opposing teams. And just like it looked like LA might maybe get their second in a row, then Phoenix comes out, and here we go.
Here comes Judah Israel, shot out of a cannon to come after Gordon.
Almost like one of the times a fighter says to the coach, should I throw the jab? If you must.
If you have to.
You know, and there is a human element to all that. You're in the arena. You see 2 straight knockouts to fights before you. Your adrenaline has to come up.
Yeah. You got those same colored trunks on, and you're thinking, okay, we're a team here. I can do something like that. And Gordon, remember, got off to a very quick start in the first round where they fought each other. And in this case, it was Israel coming forward. Now Gordon kind of steadying his pace here.
What Israel did was find a home for his jab, and he was able to slip a few punches to keep himself in the fight.
Gordon ripping that left hook. He's got a pretty good left hook. We saw it to the body and the head in that first encounter.
The jab here by Israel, but Gordon is cutting off the ring even better than the first fight thus far. And you know that they will work on him to get a jab and a quick pop behind that. That will come in the gym.
We saw evidence of that early in the first round, not so much in this one. And you know, everybody who was, oh my, Israel getting in a big right hand. Everybody who, you know, is involved in mixed martial arts and they want to transition to boxing, they know these sports are vastly different. And, you know, you don't strike the same way in mixed martial arts as you do in boxing.
You see a lot of people come in their first few times, they'll lead with their chin and try to win it that way. And then you see the subtle education, fight by fight. Gordon has shown a little bit more advanced boxing skills in that comparison, starting out.
And now he's really going after Israel. He's not landing a lot. And the other thing is, in MMA, if Israel had rushed him like he did, Gordon would be holding him and bringing him to the ground for that. But boy, they're going after it here, aren't they?
Yeah, no inhibitions whatsoever. And a lot of intrigue, even if there was less offense than the first time. And yeah, crowd loves what they see from the fighter they came to see. There's some of his entourage. They've come out in full force, part of a sellout at Thunder Studios. Amen. Such a national pride type sport.
By way of unanimous decision from the LA Elite, Gordon.
Well, Judy Israel not happy with the decision, but most of the other folks are.
Yes, that's, as far as they are now concerned, the LA Elite won tonight. Their guy got a double.
Our final money round at welterweight. Phoenix Demarius Watson, LA Osvaldo Lopez.
All right, Watson and Lopez to close it out.
Hey, why not end with a match that was a barn burner the first time? These two men put on a really, really good show. So given the excitement level we've had in these money rounds, why not these guys to close it out?
Yes, modifying really what's been an excellent night all around, regardless of how close the score is or how big the knockouts have made the final totals. It has been riveting, on the edge of your seat type of action, because everybody going for it here.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it, Dave. I agree. Everyone has been, you know, the tagline that our ring announcers use, how every round counts and everybody goes forward completely, has been true to tonight. And this match was the epitome of that, and we're seeing it again with Lopez and Watson. Watson won his first ever TBL match tonight, and now he's trying to get a second one. Lopez is now 2-2 this season, so he'd like to get over the 500 mark.
It's always nice if you can get out with a split. But we're seeing the Watson with the winging right hands. The uppercut was wicked. But they are putting premium power potential into every shot. Again, another jab optional fight.
Yeah, and
you always love that as a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. And Watson, a pressure fighter, but so is Lopez. And so that's creating a really good dynamic in the ring. And again, you know, Watson is a fighter who is undefeated as a pro, but has not faced this level. A guy in Lopez who was 8-0-1 in boxing outside of TBL. He hasn't faced anybody like him, but guess what? He's acquitting himself very, very well in this step-up situation.
Yeah, you find out a lot about your character if you step up properly. It shoots your confidence sky high. And back, you know, comes Lopez.
You know, it's funny, Watson, and you know, I've seen him boxing a million times. He faced a lot of these opponents that don't have great records. He has been able to walk in and do what he's doing tonight. He's doing it because that's what he's always done, even though he's facing a better guy. And maybe, you know, at some point, they'll have to work a little on his defense and how he comes in. But, you know, at this point, he just said, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to get done what I want to get done offensively.
And the record doesn't matter. Yeah, the whole idea of I'm going to do what I want to do rather than adjust to what someone else does. So we may see that get put into the offense eventually, but this is entertainment all the way down the line.
Yeah, that was another fun round between these two, and that man, Demetrius Watson, feels like he's got his second win and has had a very successful opening night in team boxing.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 24 by way of unanimous decision from the Phoenix Fury, Demetrius Watson.
Another double for Phoenix. Watson gets his, and quite an entertaining matchup. It was bombs away all night long. Phoenix Fury getting the better of it. There were knockdowns, there were KOs, there was excitement, and everything going the way of Phoenix, but the LA crowd saw their fighters do well too. Back with more in a moment. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Well, quite a competition for the balance of nature star of the fight. A lot of virtuoso performances. We picked this man in round 16, Manuel Villalobos.
He duplicated what he did earlier in the season. He got a knockout that really pushed his team forward, and he knocked out Jamal Scott with that nice uppercut, and he is pumped. Second knockout of the year for Villalobos.
And they've both been very significant times. Let's send it inside and capture the honor rolls.
Ladies and gentlemen, from a sold-out Thunder Studios here in Los Angeles, before we read the final score and give out post-match awards, with a special message, we have the owner of the LA Elite, Zar Cohen, with a very special message.
חבר'ה, אני אדבר איתכם בעברית, כפיים לאפשר! אני מקווה שתגיעו לעוד הרבה מאוד קרבות. ברוכים הבאים ל-TBL. אמנם הערב הזה לא ניצחנו, אבל לערבים הבאים אנחנו בהחלט נספק את הסחורה. תגיעו בהמוניכם, ועם ישראל חי!
Mr. Zar Cohen, ladies and gentlemen, your final score tonight, the Phoenix Fury 23, the LA Elite 13. Here are your 3 stars of the fight. The number 3 star, LA Elite Bantamweight, Elena Manduano. Your number 2 star, Phoenix Fury Super Middleweight, Sebastiana Duran. Your balance of nature number 1 star, Phoenix Fury Heavyweight, Manuela Villalobos. The round of the night, round number 23 between Judith Israel and Ahavad Gordon.
Coach Sonny, what a night tonight. So 2 days ago, they asked me to pick my top 5 seeds, my power seeds, and I picked Phoenix as my number 5. So I appreciate you not making me a liar tonight.
No doubt. I want to thank everybody who came out. The crowd was great. A beautiful crowd.
I mean, the energy was fantastic. I would have to say we have to give a thanks to LA because they gave us one heck of a show tonight for Phoenix to be able to show out and show up.
Oh, for sure. Hey, all Phoenix Fury, we grouped and we came out strong. Exactly what we talked about. Good job, guys.
Excellent work, Phoenix. Thank you, Coach Sonny. Yeah, can you? Manny, would you mind translating for us? Oh, thank you so much. So, tonight it seemed like you were so unbothered by Saldana. You were very patient. You were very patient with your punches. You saw what you were going for, and you weren't greedy with it at all.
Sí, estuvimos trabajando estas semanas con mis nervios un poquito y tratar de agarrar el ritmo de los combates que son muy diferentes a una pelea normal, pero gracias a Dios pues se dieron las cosas y avanzamos ahora un poquito en la tabla de posiciones.
He said he's been working on this for the past few weeks. He's been getting used to the rhythm of a TCL fight, and thank God it came out in his favor today. Excellent work tonight.
Manny, let's talk about it, my friend. What a beautiful combination. I saw you step in as he was retreating. You covered that distance. It looked like you wanted to throw that uppercut. You held it, covered a little bit more distance, and just threw it with that left and right hook. I am so impressed by the IQ to be able to see what you saw but not dive in.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think it happened once or twice where he kind of dug down in that same way, and I kind of timed it right there. I was waiting for him to dug down, and thankfully it worked.
I mean, you just got the crowd absolutely going. I mean, it was a huge momentum shift for Phoenix. You were going wild, and they were chanting, Manny, Manny. I mean, that must have felt incredible.
It felt incredible, and especially because we had a great crowd today, And at some point, I think they weren't just cheering for one fighter, not for one team. They were cheering for all of us because it was a great performance.
Amazing work tonight. Congratulations, Phoenix. Dave and Al, back to you.
All right, so quite a performance by Phoenix, and I think that may be one of the best Phoenix performances. I think it's their best performance in the last 2 years, and a dominant road show.
Yeah, you've seen this team perform a lot, and I've seen it as a fan before I was here announcing. And it was just a consistent effort, as the coach said. Everybody really stepped up.
All right, so from top to bottom, a terrific performance by the Phoenix Fury to capture a victory, get right back into the heart of the playoff system. 23-13 is the score for Phoenix tonight. Knockdown after knockdown, and then we had stoppages, and there was our #1 star, Villalobos, getting the job done. Thanks for being with us. For my pal Al Bernstein, for Jason Moon, for Amelia Moore, for our fine staff at Team Boxing League, and everybody in the truck, this is Dave Bantamweight saying so long for now. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Ahavat, as a very young, you and your brothers would have to take a bus for hours from the town you grew up in to the gym where you guys initially started training. Those really early sacrifices, what do you feel it built in you as a fighter today?
So yeah, since day one, the sacrifice been everything in our journey. Nothing was easy, let's say that. So, but it made us who we are today, the fighters we are, and you know, the strongest thing about us is our mentality and our heart. So I think that's what made us, you know, strong and unbeatable.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's what you carry with you. Internationally, I mean, you've represented Israel on the highest levels of international competition in Muay Thai and kickboxing. What made now the right time to move into boxing and step into a format like Team Boxing League?
So yeah, I fought in the best and biggest leagues, won championship, RWS in Muay Thai. You know, 12-0 in Muay Thai. But my biggest goal is to, you know, get to the UFC and be the first champion. So I think this is part of the journey, stepping into another format of our martial arts and show my skills here and get better in boxing. And I'm excited. I think it's just the perfect organization for me to try out my skills and show what I got.
And for you, you've been very vocal about your family being a massive part of your journey, especially losing your father very young. What are you hoping that people are going to see in you beyond just being a fighter tonight?
You know, I'm not just a fighter. Everybody, like, I'm a pretty known name in my country. So because I represent something a lot bigger as a Jew, and happy to be who I am and not scared to show who I am. So I think that's what people really love about me. I'm not scared of nobody except of God. So that's who I am.
To be you and most authentic is a beautiful blessing and a great gift. Well, we're excited so much to see you compete tonight.
Thank you. You're gonna enjoy it.
So sorry, some technical difficulties there. I was trying to grab you. So here with Alejandro, we were talking earlier and just talking about some of the journey that kind of brought you into boxing. And originally, you've had quite the journey. You were born and grew up in the Philippines, and then really moved to Hawaii, and that's where you grew up. And that's really where you started boxing in Hawaii, which has an incredible culture there for boxing.
Yep. Yeah. yeah, I grew up in Hawaii, you know, fighting was Hawaii, like everybody scraps, like everybody's fighting like outside of the ring. So I just got into the gym one day and I just fell in love with it. Yeah.
And then here you are with boxing. TBL brought you. You had you knew Elijah Akana very well. Was another TBL Phoenix Fury athlete, and now here you are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I look up to Elijah Akana. You know, he was a big bro to me. He put me on to Team Combat League, and yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy fighting for Combat League. Yeah.
It was awesome to get you on the mic. We'd love to do some more time. We have to cast it back to the studio right now, but we'll get you back on the mic again soon.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so much. Angel, we just have to talk about what just happened with your teammate and how crazy the crowd just went for her. I mean, they just loved that.
No, yeah, that was intense right now. You know, she got caught early in the first round with the same girl with a left hook, and you know, we were all just telling her, come get your get back, and she came and made a statement right now by getting the stoppage. You know, our team really needs it right now, so that was huge for her, and yeah, shout out to her for getting that. Happy for her.
So I want to talk about your fight with Raiko Santana. I was really impressed by the way that you were able to use your offense in the beginning. But what it looked like to me was because they weren't massive shots, you were still able to keep them out, but it almost felt like you were losing confidence in that moment. If you had stayed there, I felt that was one of the best offensive work that's ever been done with Raiko.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I know that I have a good jab, and I fought Raiko last year, and it was a close fight. You know, and this fight I try to come out and use my jab, but I didn't want to look like I'm running by just boxing them and jabbing them, because I know this team boxing league is more, they want action. So I didn't want to look like I'm running from him, you know, and I try to sit there a little bit on the ropes and try to make it more entertaining, but you know, it didn't look too good that I'm catching the shots. You know, none of the shots were really landing or any threat on me, but they look more busier than me, so it did. You know, but I just got to go back to the gym and, you know, back to work we go.
I really enjoyed the fight, though, to be completely honest, and I can't wait for you guys to match up again. Thank you. Get us back in the ring. Lots of action.
Thank you, guys.
It was a feisty and fiery night all throughout Los Angeles at the sold-out Thunder Studios. The LA Corral was animated, but it was the Phoenix Fury who had the night 23-13, Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein. And you know, Al, this was quite a big night for Phoenix right from the start.
It was, and at the end of the day, it's all because of the power they showed. They scored knockdowns, they scored knockouts more than LA, and that was the difference.
Let's see how we got to this decision here by Phoenix. It started right off the bat with Aniela Lopez in round one. This had been a tactical and tight affair, and it would change at the very end. The big hook getting in, and she topples Manduano for LA, and Phoenix off to 2 points.
And in round 5, the man that the big crowd came to see, Avak Gordon against Judith Israel. And Gordon was very effective in this round in giving the crowd what they wanted to see, and ultimately would do enough, though Israel had his moments, but Gordon would do enough to win the decision and keep the crowd happy.
Guy who had a huge night, Yordan Barrera. We talked about how he had beaten Rashidi Ellis, and he had a lot of impressive wins on his resume, and he was on his way here with another 2-point knockdown in round 6 as he gets the job done against Saldana. Again, Phoenix starting to pull out.
And a battle that we thought was going to be good, and it was. In round 9, Erica Sanchez and Tierra Brandt. Sanchez undefeated this season after stepping down to 126 pounds where it really suited her. And Tierra Brandt, an excellent performer who was a season 3 star, just couldn't do enough to keep Sanchez off of her. Sanchez won a decision, and it was a good match.
How awesome was Phoenix's night? We saw Barrera before. We see Barrera again. Instant replay, another knockdown. 2 knockdowns, 2 2-point wins, and you can't be the star of the night. That's how deep this team was tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty extraordinary. And that brings us to a heavyweight moment with Manny Villalobos against Jamal Scott. Villalobos really got to Scott with this big uppercut, and for the second time this season, Manny scores a big knockout that helps the Phoenix Fury to a victory.
Right after we're talking about tiebreaker points, remember Lopez and Manduano in round number 1? You're going to see it again, but you're going to see a different outcome as Manduano through the blood, a terrific right hand, and she scores a knockout. She may have been losing the round, and then thunder with that right hand. It may have been a 5-point swing, and they were delirious in the LA Corral, and so was she. Blood and all, that is a warrior. The bomb through the blood.
And just when LA had some momentum, and also Samuel Isak in the blue trunks had looked like he was going to beat Sebastian Duran, Duran came back and stopped Isak with some big punches, and Thomas Taylor was forced to step in and stop the action. A 4-point win for the Fury that got them right back to where they started.
Good stoppage by the referee and a very good performance all the way through. I tell you what, it was at times you don't care about the score. It's just explosive and enjoying.
It was exciting. There were many turns and twists and turns in the show this evening, and we had 2 1 and 2 teams coming in looking to push themselves closer to the playoffs. It turned out to be Phoenix.
All right, so that's how it went down. The shootout in LA going to Phoenix. So the Phoenix Fury getting win number 2 and right into the thick of the playoffs. Barrera, a couple of big shots. 4-point night. Villalobos, the star of the night, shows you one reason why right there. The Phoenix Fury making some noise as they try to get into the second half. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the TBL campaign. We'll be back with you soon.